Dawn House used to be an emergency shelter in Kingston for a long time. It opened in 1986, and we changed our role back in 2017, and now we provide transitional housing and supportive housing and other supports to women who are living in poverty. But every woman who comes here has come from the street or from a shelter. They're always homeless. And we work with them to help them recover. And today I have with me a woman who was here for over a year. Her name is Lisa Larose. And I'm not going to tell you her story. She's going to tell you her story. She is amazing, and she has moved into the community, but now she is volunteering here at Dawn House, and she's just a super lady.
Hello. Do I just start talking now? Yeah. So I'm Lisa, and I'm also a little bit nervous, but and I wrote a couple of notes, but I came to Dawn House in October 2018, and I was here for about 18 months, just moved this past April. So a bit of background, I'm 49 years old. I was a single mother of 2 girls. And I dealt with a lot of depression. And then I started drinking, I guess, you know, by definition, I was an alcoholic or am an alcoholic. But the depression, I thought, was attributed to my girls leaving for university. For a long time, it was just the 3 of us. But it was, you know, just lasted longer than, you know, what it probably should have. And it was, you know, a little bit maybe more severe than what I'd been reading about. So along with that, I started to have some health problems. I had a heart attack in 2017. And during all this time with the heart attack, they found out I had high blood pressure, and I had some medication for that. So moving on, and I apologize if I'm getting the timeline a bit wrong, but moving on, I started to get some very bad headaches, and at the same time, I had a busy job. I was a PSW working full-time in long-term care. So I had the headaches, and they were, you know, pretty severe. I was taking the Tylenol quite often, but just as moms and women sometimes do, I just sort of brushed it off, and you put yourself at the bottom of the list. And I kind of just thought, well, you know, maybe I should need to go and get my eyes checked. Or, you know, I knew I had the high blood pressure at that point. So I thought, well, that makes sense. Maybe people with high blood pressure, you know, maybe feel headachy, but it was often and it was severe. But then it's my memory started to be affected. So I'm very, still a little bit ashamed to say that while I was doing my job in long-term care, you have a list of the residents that you look after, and I started to forget some of the people. As part of my job, you get them ready in the morning, and it was just, I had no memory of that. So obviously that's horrible, and I quit my job. When I had to quit my job, or, you know, I would probably be fired. I was at least able to recognize that. Not to mention the pain with the headaches was really getting quite bad. So I quit my job, and therefore, you know, was having trouble making ends meet with rent. And that led to me being evicted from, you know, a nice apartment, very beautiful apartment that I had. And then I started with not ODSP, but OW. And so that was only about $700 a month. And so all I could not afford at all to get a place of my own. So I had to get roommates, and I did that with some, basically just answering an ad. And there was a couple of girls that I didn't know, they were strangers to me. So it was not a nice situation, and I was, you know, already depressed, and then moving into this strange environment. So so it wasn't working out. So I knew enough I had heard about Dawn House. I wasn't quite sure what it was. And it took me, my family tried to help me with my depression. I'd become very, very bad, to the point, maybe a little bit ashamed to admit it, but it affected my hygiene. It affected, I was not keeping things in order. I was not, even when I had funds to pay bills, the depression was as bad as you have, maybe read about. And my family tried to help and everything. But now the situation where I was a roommate wasn't working out, and I had to leave. And so I reached out to Dawn House, and I moved here in October of 2018. Yes, here about 18 months. During that time that I was here in August of, so I guess a year ago this past August, so August 2019, the staff here were, continually trying to help me, and the headaches were still ongoing. And I don't blame my family doctor or anything, because I didn't bring anything forward to the doctor maybe as often as I should have. And that's, again, because I just didn't care enough to even be bothered. And sorry. The staff to try to help me here. But to move ahead a little bit, the headaches got to a point where it caused me to vomit, and the staff intervened and called an ambulance and went to the hospital, and they discovered I had a brain tumor. My kind of brain tumor is what they believe caused me to have this severe depression that I did. So I had a big surgery a little over a year ago, and there's only permanent damage that I have is I don't have a sense of smell any longer. But I am 1,000% better. I'm 1,000%, different person. My quality of life has improved, and I, was able to, start looking after things. And I had the resources from Dawn House, and I had the knowledge, and what I, there was just somebody always available for me, especially the staff. They were always there to do anything for me, and they really helped me to move forward. I came back here, and I had, really not very much community nursing come in. I had a little bit of physio, but they were very helpful to help me, even with that kind of recovery, get on my feet, and that just progressed. Had I been on my own, I really would not have had anywhere to go and to do that healing, because I was in pretty bad shape for recovery as well. I had a walker and everything, and I couldn't go up and down stairs and such, but Dawn House did everything they could to accommodate me physically. They really would run around and, all kinds of things that they did for me. So moving forward, I felt stronger physically. I felt stronger mentally, and that's what brought me to the point of being able to move out this past April.
And you're on ODSP now.
Yeah, and I'm on ODSP, and so all of those things Dawn House was able to help me sort out, because I didn't really, of course I'd heard what ODSP was and all that, but I didn't know how to go about any of that. So yeah, and have a little side business now selling Avon, so I'm volunteering here, so I'm just getting there.
United Way has really helped us out. Our first 2 years here, we had a grant from the Trillium Foundation to provide the supports that helped Lisa, the staffing here, and that ran out. And the United Way, helped us out with 2 grants that have helped us with staffing, so that we can continue to do this work. And we also got this wonderful grant for a meal program that's running here to help the women. And so the United Way has really stepped up and really been amazing, and brought all these masks and brought all this wonderful PPE that we needed during COVID. So we really appreciate the United Way here.